Hey everybody, I'm on the wrong side of the screen. I need to move myself back over here before I forget. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to Star Wars Day by Day. You know all those podcast shows? Or I shouldn't say when podcasts started, I don't think they were, but as they've evolved and as they've grown up, you now can either listen to the podcast via like on something like iTunes, or I use Amazon Music. But they're all the places. But you can also go on to YouTube and watch the podcast on here. And maybe I've mentioned this before, but I think maybe I've mentioned Nate and Kara and these other folks that sail around the world. And I don't know if I've mentioned Eamon and Beck, but I saw that they started their podcast, and I'm like, I saw the video that they did. Like, it's going to be probably 2 weeks by the time you see this, maybe 3. Or they're like, oh yeah, we're starting the podcast back up, and they go and they have what to me is a budget of like, holy crap, you have that much disposable, you have that much money coming in from YouTube and the business to where you can be able to afford to rent a space like this or lease a space like this that's just for the podcast. And then they go through, they don't show everything, but they show a fair bit of decisions that were made and stuff. And it's just like mind blowing. And I'm like, and to me, it's like, the questions comes down to, what would I do if I had that much disposable income per month? And Scribble did a video that I kind of laughed at, that I really did laugh at. He's like, I spent how much money playing this game? And apparently it only goes back like a few years, because apparently up until a few years ago, he was free to play. And then somebody gave him money to buy a Lightspeed bundle, and since then he's just been. And then at the end of the video, he's like, "Wait a minute." Throughout my being a YouTuber, these guys have a level of production quality that I'm never gonna have, because I don't know if you've noticed, but literally the only production value I have is about this mic right here. I have this camera, which came with this software that allows me to record this video. And then I invested in software that I can where I upload a video. I can click clean the audio, and it will clean the audio. And then after that, all I do is I export it into an HD version, and then I upload it to YouTube. That's literally it. I don't have these graphics, where people come out with a spreadsheet, or they're twisting the video and all this, and I'm definitely not sitting here with the boom mic talking into it like other people do. And I definitely don't have the podcast setup where they have the chairs, and they have the mics right at their mouth and they're talking. And I'm like, wow, y'all have money. And then at the same time, just watching the stuff that's went on in this world over the past month, it's like, or probably not the past month, but the past year, where we've got people just doing crazy stuff. And we've got natural disasters that I believe are trying to wake people up to the truth of what's going on. And in the midst of this, you got, by the time you're seeing this, we're going to be literally probably 2 weeks or something like that away from things that could change our lives forever. And you've got one side out here, they've been hammering, I've alluded to this before. They're clad in blue, their color is blue, and yet they're out there saying, hey, blah, 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 this guy's literally Palpatine. And yet, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the guy they're claiming to be Palpatine? Wasn't he president already? And wasn't gas cheaper? Wasn't food more affordable? I don't know. I'm not saying the guy's perfect. He's not perfect, y'all. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. I would have, if it was me, because I was on the band, I was on the side of another guy. And I wanted him, but people didn't choose him. So here we are. And yeah, there's rabbit trails you could go down about that, but and I see stuff, guys. I see stuff. Like, I was very distraught this morning. By the way, it's morning when you're recording, if you can't tell it's morning. I was very distraught this morning. Something that I needed to have happen didn't happen. And then, it turned around, and I did literally nothing, guys. I did literally nothing. But, literally within, 10 minutes, it all turned around. And it happened. I did nothing to control that. There's so much division. And I'm going to keep this very brief. I promise. About what I'm about to talk about. There's so much division. And it's weird. It's weird, right? Because this game is based on a universe that's came out of the mind of some guy, right? And if you know stuff about that guy, he had feelings about people. He thought that I mean, it's too hard to do without spoiling it. And I don't know that stuff hasn't been just erased. But George had a way of looking things, and he thought that the one side was one way and the other side was a good way, was another way. And it turns out in actuality that they're reversed. And if you think about it, it's kind of prophetic the way that it's actually reversed, because it's in the movies you see that the rebels are the ones with a lot of division, and the empire has no division, and that's the way I see it right now. Only if we were to move this over to the real world, it's the reverse. Whereas it's just the reversal of the colors, guys. And if you don't see it, I can't help you. But that being said, I'm worried. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about me. I'm worried about all of us. I'm worried about, people that just have like a ludicrous amount of money, and they could actually do good with it. And I know it's their money. They have the right to choose to do with whatever with it they want to. But we choose the choices we make, and you could be like, well, how are they supposed to know that was going to happen? Maybe just take a look around. Hold on. Sorry. Phone call. There's a reason I don't have so I have to listen for the vibration, because it's right. The phone's right here. I just have to listen for it and be paying attention, because if I don't, you miss it. But yeah. I don't know. Some of you might be asking, well, how are you supposed to know that something might be happening? And to that, I would say, for me, it's as simple as you just have to listen. You just have to listen. I don't know. I think I erased the episode where I just got into the weeds about. It happened. So yesterday was another morning episode, but the night before I recorded this episode. I know it's just ungasly. It was just, what? And, since then, I've had questions that I don't have the answer for, that I'm trying to figure out. And instead of posting a gut reaction, I'm listening. I'm waiting, and I'm listening. And waiting is one of the hardest things in the world. I have a 4 and a 5-year-old, and trying to get them to be patient for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes It's super hard. So imagine me as an adult who can wait 5 or 10 minutes easily. But do I know how long it's going to take for the answer to come? No, I don't. I don't. And so what am I supposed to do in the meantime? It's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound nuts. But what I'm supposed to do in the meantime is wait. How long? I don't know. I don't have any clue how long I'm supposed to wait. I just know that I'm supposed to wait. To wait. I didn't top up, did I? I don't think I did. I'm trying not to, because I did that on the free to play account last night, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Because guys, things are coming, and it's like it's like in this game, you can spend all your crystals and not have any, but things are coming. Things are coming, and all you have to do is pay attention and be patient and wait and just not spend. That's it. That's it. You just don't spend. It's like, yeah, I could rush and be done with Night Sister Zombie whenever. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And that's the big thing about free to play. You can rush and you can be done with whatever whenever you want to. It's fine. It's fine. But you know what? You still gotta wait. You're gonna have to wait for something eventually. And so being free, I mean, and granted, this is not a free to play account. I spent $35. Hopefully, my intention is to never ever spend another dime on this account. Do I know that for sure? No. On the free to play account, I know that for sure. Because I'm never spending a dime on that. But, that being said, there are things like on this count, on the original count, on the hyperlights, if my free to play accounts were a little bit more mature, I would be saving there. But I don't think that they're at a place where they're mature enough, where they're old enough, where they have enough teams in place to where I can afford to hoard gems on them. But on these, yeah, I do. And not just because they have Executor, but because they're established. But what I would say is listen. Just listen. And actually try to figure out the truth from the fairy tales. That's the only way I can say it. I never said it made sense. It might not ever. But that doesn't mean you stop trying. Anyway, let me know. God bless. Hold the line. I'll see you hopefully tonight. Bye.